Hey gang, this is Sandy Reese. I'm your fundraising mentor, and I wanted to give you a quick lesson on how to ask a good question. This was something that I learned from one of my coaches a couple of years ago, especially when I had the opportunity to show up on a Q&A call or in person with a whole lot of other people and nobody was asking questions. And she was like, come on you guys, I know you've got questions. So she really broke it down for me. It made it very helpful for me, and it gave me the ability to really take advantage of any time that I had that I could be with one of my coaches to get exactly the help that I needed. So I thought I would share that with you and make sure that anytime you have the chance to jump on a Q&A call with me or in a Facebook group or anything, that you know how to ask a laser focused question that's going to give you exactly what you need. Okay, fair enough? So here's the first thing. There are actually three things I want you to think about here. Number one is be prepared. When you know that you're going to have the opportunity to ask a question, and it doesn't matter if it's me or somebody else, I want you to think ahead of time about what you need to ask. Jot down on a piece of paper your questions and be ready to ask them. If you wait and try to do this on the fly, you're not going to come up with a question of any kind of substance that's really going to help you, unless there's a huge burning issue that's consuming your life and you want to ask about that. Most of the time you need to be prepared. You need to think about this ahead of time, jot those questions down. The second one is ask specific questions. Don't ask, how do I raise more money? That's way too broad, it's way too general. Ask something like, how do I increase my major giving by 10% before the end of my fiscal year? Or ask, how can I increase my sponsorships on my event by $25,000? Or can you give me an idea of what I can do to raise the average gift amount on my next direct mail appeal? See how specific those are? Those are some really focused kind of questions, and I want you to get in the habit of that. So one of the things that I know about how most of us operate, most of us are incredibly busy. We're actually probably too busy, and we may have our Q&A call or our coaching opportunity. It's on our calendar, and then when we show up, we realize like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to ask a question about? So this is why I want you to be prepared and think about this ahead of time. I know that you've got a lot of balls in the air. You're juggling a lot of things, and I know that there are times when it is all completely overwhelming to you. I get that. And I know that there are times that you wish that I could just wave a magic wand and give you some really great stuff. And I can do that, but I need you to do your part. So here's what I want you to think about. As you're preparing, as you're thinking about your specific questions, I want you to think about what's going on in your fundraising. What's going on in your world? Where are you stuck? Because chances are really good if you're stuck, that's a place where you can ask a question. So I want you to think about, like, where am I stuck? Where am I confused? Where am I unsure? So any of those kind of places, start there and then think about, why am I stuck? Why am I confused? Why am I unsure? Is there one thing that if I knew that one thing, I could get unstuck, I could be more sure, I could be more confident, more focused, and move forward? Okay? So I want you to start thinking about, if you're feeling, oh, I'm overwhelmed, I got so much going on, I've got to hit my goal, I've got to raise $25,000, how am I going to do that? And then I want you to dig in. Where am I feeling stuck about that? Where am I feeling unsure? What do I need to know? And then I want you to put your question together around that so that you can show up and say, I've got this goal of raising $25,000 and I'm feeling a little unsure about that. Here's where I need some help. Here's what I've got planned. Is this going to work? Is this something that I need to scrap? Is there something else that I need to do? If you ask me a specific question, I can give you some help and we can get you moving forward. And actually, that's the third piece here, and that is, ask a question that the answer will move you forward. Now, almost all of you have the opportunity to ask me questions from time to time, and I love Q&A. I love clearing stuff up. And I want you to show up and ask me something that when I give you the answer, you're going to go, got it, and move forward and be ready to go make some more things happen. Now, here's a couple other things that I want to make sure that you know. Number one, there are no dumb questions. Now, you should know me well enough by now to know that I am never going to do anything that's going to make you feel stupid. I certainly would never do that on purpose. If I do that by accident, you need to let me know. But I'm very sensitive about supporting people. I'm very sensitive about building your confidence and helping you feel really good about moving forward in the world. There are no dumb questions in my world. If you don't feel comfortable asking that question, either in the group that you're in or whatever, email it to me. There's always a way to get that question, or you can go post it in your Facebook group. Get me the question. If you don't ask it, I can't help you. There are no dumb questions, okay? So just let that one go. I will promise you that if you're thinking of that question, there are other people who are also thinking of that question, and in the group that you're in, somebody else will benefit if you ask. You'll actually be doing work for yourself and work for somebody else. So no dumb questions. And number two is it's perfectly okay to ask about something that's specific to your organization. That is perfectly okay, because I will promise you, again, there's going to be somebody else who's going to learn from it. There's going to be somebody else in a similar situation, so it's perfectly okay to ask me something very specific about your organization. Okay, got it? Be prepared. In other words, spend a little bit of time, think through it, think about specific questions that you can ask, especially if the answer to that specific question will move you forward. I want you to show up and take advantage of this. Listen, private clients pay me a lot of money every month to have the opportunity to strategize, ask questions, get help. Don't waste this opportunity. Don't waste the chance to come, get some help, get some support, get unstuck, clear up the unsuredness, and get moving forward in a big way. So take advantage of any time you have to show up and ask me a question. I'm going to challenge you to do it. Show up, ask, get the help, get moving forward, because ultimately it's about you raising more money so you can do more good in the world. Okay, everybody, that's your question. Lesson for today. This is Sandy saying see you soon. Have a great day.